Hey friends, welcome to this postnatal yin class. So this one has been requested by one of the women in my online yoga circle, so thank you so much for requesting this class. Yin yoga is really something that can be so beneficial when you're a new mum, or maybe not even a new mum, maybe you've been doing this for a while, and you're just feeling really depleted, like you've been running on this high adrenaline energy for too long, and you're just feeling like you have nothing left to give. So in this class, we are going to hold postures for a long period of time. It is possibly going to be quite challenging because it's going to feel like you're not doing anything productive. But actually what you're doing is helping your nervous system to restore. So when we've been operating in this fight or flight mode, this adrenaline state, this anxiety-fueled state, these sort of poses are going to help to bring us down, to let our breathing return to normal, to let all of our stress systems in our body, our hormones return to normal. So this class is going to be really helpful for you, especially if you've got a newborn, because usually that nervous system is naturally on high alert just after we've had a baby. It's a biological thing to protect our baby, but in this day and age, we really need to work on bringing that nervous system down. So you'll notice during this class, I'm not going to talk much. I'm just going to instruct you on how to get in, and then I'm going to leave you with silence. And the reason for that is because as mums, we have a lot of stuff going on in our head, in our lives, we're constantly thinking. There's noise galore. And what I want to give you during this class is some time and some space with those thoughts to notice them, to maybe direct them where you want them to go. Like if you get into a negative spiral, can you direct them back to the positive? And just some space to be, to see that there is benefit just in you being, in existing, and that you don't need to be doing or being productive all the time. You are valuable just because you are you, and I hope that you enjoy this class. Let's get into it. I'll be using a bolster today, but if you don't have a bolster, you can use pillows or blankets, or even a rolled up towel will work as well. It's just to support you so that you can really soften into these positions and stay there for the extended period of time that we're going to hold them, rather than feeling like you're being overstretched in these positions, which is obviously really important when you're postnatal because you likely still have that relaxant in your body that is helping everything to open anyway. So using your support, bringing it under the chest and belly, we're going to soften down into our child's pose. I want you to move into your ujjayi breath, so in and out through the nose, maybe creating that oceanic sound on the out breath. Before you settle in, you might like to take a quick body scan, just noticing any tension in the body and consciously relaxing it. On your next inhale, slowly bring yourself up. And just to do a little bit of a rebound, interlace the fingers behind you and just open up the chest here. Maybe even shifting the gaze to the ceiling if that feels good. And slowly return. We're going to move the bolster in the opposite direction now as we come into our Sphinx pose using the bolster as a prop. So I want you to bring the chest over the bolster, position the hips down, and then bring the elbows down onto the floor and the palms flat. See if you can roll the shoulders back and down. If you're getting any sensations in the low back that don't feel good, just squeeze the feet together. And then we stay here, breathing, maybe closing down the eyes if that feels good. And then modifying this pose slightly, we're going to move into a quad stretch. I just want you to reach around, find that ankle with the hand, and then see if you can soften back in here. So softening through the neck, face, noticing the tension that's created in the leg, but seeing if you can relax into this. Gently releasing on this side, lifting the other leg. And again, softening in, getting yourself settled in this position before finding the breath with your awareness. And then gently release the leg down. Use the hands into the bolster to draw yourself all the way back. And this time we're just going to reset with a little bit of a seated cat-cow. So just opening and closing the chest. I'm going to move now into our pigeon pose using this bolster. So I want you to bring the left leg forward and then bring that bolster forward so that you can soften the body over the bolster and you're not having to come down quite so far. You might also want some supports under this left hip if your hips are quite tight. Get yourself settled and find the breath. And then slowly draw yourself back up. This time come back up to tabletop. Just take a little bit of a rock and a roll through the hips. Hopefully this feels good for your body. Just resetting those hips. Maybe even feeling like the inner thighs are squeezing together after all that opening. And then draw the right knee forward this time. Foot tucks into the groin, stretch the left leg out. And then soften in to this side. On your next breath, slowly coming all the way back up, stepping that right knee back, so that you're in your tabletop. This time we'll take a cat-cow between poses. So inhale, lift the tail, lift the head. Exhale, slowly round through the spine. Inhale. And exhale. One more, inhale. And exhale. And then from your tabletop, I want you to come down and take a seat. I'm going to take both legs wide. And then keep that bolster handy. You might even need a few more props, just so that you can gently lean forward. So we're getting that nice stretch through the hamstrings, but we've got that support. Even a chair can work really nicely here so that you're leaning forward onto a chair. Just make sure that you're nice and comfortable. And then settle into your breath. And then on your next inhale, come to sit tall. Between poses, we're just going to do a quick little twist. So looking over one shoulder, using the hand into the thigh as a bit of an anchor. And then in the opposite direction. And then back to center. We've got one final pose, and we're going to finish on our bolster. So leaning back, using the bolster underneath the low back for support. And you can either have your legs crossed, or if it feels okay, you can bring the soles of the feet together, coming into our Supta Baddha Konasana. So find the position that feels best for your body. Make sure you've got that support there for the low back. If it doesn't feel good, please adjust. Let the palms rest up towards the ceiling. So this one is great because it helps to counteract all that hunching over we do as mums, especially when we're feeding babies. So once again, let yourself find the breath, find the quiet. Notice the thoughts and perhaps direct them if they need. Showing yourself kindness and compassion. And slowly start to wriggle fingers and toes. Maybe even stretching out long if that feels good as you start to slowly wake yourself up. Using the hands to support you to slowly roll off your bolster. And once more, just doing a nice gentle seated cat-cow. Just bringing some movement back into the spine. And when you're ready, bring the hands to heart. Let's take a moment to reflect on this practice. Was it challenging for you? Hopefully it was just what you needed. And maybe through creating some space on the mat, we can see that we also need to create space in our lives, even when we have the intense needs of a newborn to meet. How can we find space through asking for help, through calling in a babysitter, calling in a grandparent, your partner, and being really honest about what you need to feel whole as a mum. I know for me that is often time alone, time to just attend to my basic needs, time to do the things that make me feel like me, my hobbies, my business. And whatever that is for you, let yourself ask for that help unapologetically without feeling like you need to justify it. It is so much better for your entire health and well-being, and therefore the health of your baby, if you can fill yourself up when you need and not let yourself get too depleted. Sending you all my love. It is always an honor to practice with you. Namaste.